I really feel so bad that Aida can never remember people who helped her when she was really in need. People who really cared about her when she was really in need. And yet, there are so many things that we have covered up about her life. You see, Raila was just a loving man. He loved the children because Jaramogi told him Aida cannot use her fingers to satisfy herself. So if Raila's brothers looked after Aida while he was in prison, he should not complain. All the children that Aida has received while he was in Raila's custody, those are his, because Raila is the one who paid the dowry. So that is what Jaramogi told Raila when he came back from prison. When he comes back and find there's another baby, when he comes back and find another baby. So Odinga told Raila, you cannot chase this woman away because she has been waiting for you all along, and these are all your brothers. Is there any brother of yours that have come to claim any child? These are all your brothers. Is there anybody who have come to claim the child? Because those are your properties now. So look after the kids. And that is what Raila have done. He has been looking after the kids of Aida, whether they are his or not his. He has been looking after them as his own children. That nobody could ever know that Aida had children elsewhere and brought the children to Raila. So I'm requesting Winnie, you cannot torture the children of Jaramogi. Like now, Agola's children, or Osewe's children, Gaudensia Dea's children, Susan's children. Tell your mom, please, tell her, that Anyango have said you must release the title deeds and all the properties in Nairobi. Release the title deeds and the properties are in Nairobi. Release it to the Oginga Odinga's children. Because Gaudensia there has two kids there, I know. Susan has 2 children there, I know, that are now being ignored. Even during the funeral of Raila, none of them were being recognized. Aida has kept you people in the front line. Leadership. You should know that leadership cannot come to you people because that leadership belongs to Joka Khan. So, Nyikwa Joka Khan, the children, like the children of Oburu, can get those leadership. Children of Gaudensia Dea can get those leadership. Children of Susan can get that leadership because the covenant between me and Jaramogi Odinga and Mary Juma was there. If I may tell you, that is why I'm telling you that Jaramogi Odinga, you people are trying to lock the gate of Jaramogi Odinga, but it is not going to be locked. I'm telling you the truth. The people who are trying to lock that gate by bringing all kind of bad omens there, that the grandchildren of Jaramogi will not be leaders, that Jaramogi Odinga's grandchildren will never be leaders. That is a lie. His children, his own birth children, like Gaudensia Dea's children, like Susan Odinga's children, they will get those leadership, whether you people like it or not. So don't waste your time. You are wasting your time. And those witch doctors are eating a lot of money from your mom. Advise your mother, Winnie. Advise her to give out the title deeds that belongs to Jaramogi Odinga's hand. They cannot fence the whole property of Jaramogi Odinga in Opoda and not giving Mrs. Osewe her right, giving Miss Susan Odinga her right. It cannot be. Betty is there. She should also have a share of Jaramogi. She has been there. She has been the one looking after that home. She has to have a share. Now, why would those houses in Nairobi, in Kileleshwa, in Lavington, in Langata, are kept by your mom? She's giving to her friends. Whoever she loves, she would give those properties. And yet Jaramogi Odinga is the one who fought. The last money that Jaramogi got from American embassy, that Oginga Odinga was a peacemaker. When I told the Americans that Jaramogi Odinga would be the one to work together with Moi and Kenya will not have any war. So, they called Jaramogi in American embassy, and he was asked if he's ready to do that. He accepted. That is how the houses in Kileleshwa got, the houses in Lavington, even the house you are staying inside now, Madam Aida. That house in Ngong. That is where Jaramogi was supposed to stay, but you jumped inside that home and denied Mzee his right, and left the house you are supposed to live in Lavington, gave it to Mzee to come and live in Lavington. So we accepted. I know all these things. You remember that when Odima told you, just ask your mom, that did Odima tell Aida about a project that I was doing in my village here, about a school called Nyanginja Primary? That was my gift. After Jaramogi Oginga Odinga was given 3 bank accounts by the Americans: school fees account, political account, and personal account. Aida became the signatory because she was the personal assistant of Jaramogi. Now all this money are there. Now you find Agola's children are struggling as if their grandfather was in poverty. He was a very lucky man because he got lucky women. He got my sister Mary, was very lucky. He got me, I was very lucky. When Mary told me in my dreams to go and look for those Wazungus to come and help Mzee, that is how I came to get an air ticket sent to a priest here to take me to America. I should go to the Holy Land, visit the Holy Land. That priest should take me to Holy Land to visit all those places. Then I go to New York. I was in New York. The same old man that have made me this home here, Mr. Walls, he was a chief editor for United Nations here in Kenya. That he wrote a book about, he wrote a book here about desertification of the world. He's the one who did in 1977. That is how he came even to meet Henry Albert Fosbrook. That is the second money that Jaramogi Oginga Odinga received that now took him out of poverty. When the government had already put him in poverty, that even Ajip House could not be paid. Even his house in Milimani was auctioneers went in. So when I went to America, is when I got these Americans, the global committee that financed Mzee through the American embassy here. That Mr. Walls was their chief editor in New York. And I told them the story about Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, and they accepted. So when they investigated, they found that it is true. Oginga has a good heart. He will work together with Moi, that war will not be in Kenya. Aida, were you not the one who organized about Ugandans to come and help you people to come and withdraw Moi from the government? Were you not the chief organizer of that? Until now, I know very well that you are attached to so many government officials. You are so much attached to them. They are still under you. They are under your pay. That is true. If Mr. William Somaya Ruto does not look at you twice, I'm 100% sure he's going to get a headache. So he has to look at you twice, because you have some of his officials under your hand, that you are the one controlling them, that you can do whatever you want, even picking me up here like a bag of charcoal to take me to Rivayala. You can do that one with your clip of your finger. A clip of your finger, you do that. So I'm just requesting that please, Madam Winnie, tell your mother to release the title deeds that belongs to Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. Tell Oburu, Dr. Oburu, who is a money maker, when your mother gives Oburu money, he will shut up. He does not even act like he's the elder son in that compound. He becomes like a small baby in that compound. And yet he's the one who's supposed to be speaking out. Not me. He's the one who should speak out that this portion of land should be given to so and so. When he went to sell, Dr. Buru went to sell land in Soba, did he even consult Aida? Did he consult even Susan? Did he even consult Gaudensia there? Because those are the wives of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. Did he even, the caretaker who is Betty, did he even talk to Betty, who is a caretaker in that home? Oburu went ahead and sold the land that probably is the one who brought the problem for. The reason why I'm putting up all these words, the reason why I'm giving out all these stories, is because people are wondering, who is this woman that she's pushing her nose, poking her nose, concerns the leadership of Jaramogi, or the family of Jaramogi. Yes, I was the second wife, according to the Luo tradition. My sister Gaudensia was number 3 on me. And we loved each other with Gaudensia there, up to date. Until now, we still love each other. In spite that she left me the home, I always stayed in her house when I'm in Nairobi. I would always stay with her wherever she is. We would always communicate. Now, the spirituals of our young sisters, of our grandparents, were ordained on me. That is why Mary wanted me to stay with that home. And that's why she left me to look after the home. Because she knows that spiritually I'm very powerful. That is why she wanted me to look after her husband and her children. Because of the spiritual powers that were given to me by the grandparents. Now, there's nothing I don't know about Jaramogi. When Mary Juma went to Britain, I was the one who was left to look after Mzee, massage him, wash him, and look after the children and make sure that children have eaten well. Mary was in Britain. She came back, and she came back with a lot of money. For us, we knew those are papers. But her and Mzee, they knew that was money that was given to her while she came back from Britain. Now, if you could hear a story that Jaramogi's wife wanted to eliminate him, it was not true. That was an agreement between the two. My sister agreed with her husband, and I was made in a go-between, not knowing that this food was already poisoned. So Mzee had a pussycat, and that pussycat is the one that was fed with the poison. I'm talking about it now because I know whoever gave my sister money to come and kill her husband, I'm sure they must have already been dead, because even among all the rest of the other ones are already dead. Lukobok is no longer there, Okelo Dongo is no longer there, Achieng Oneko is no longer there, J.D. Kali is no longer there. Those are the people that witnessed about the pussycat that ate the poison. But I'm the one, and my sister, that prepared the food and brought. After we had already kept the money. That is the first money that Jaramogi Oginga Odinga had, more money than Kenya with the 20 cents. If you can follow up the history, you would hear that Jaramogi Oginga Odinga had a lot of money that if you combine all the Kenya money, Jaramogi had 20 cents more than the money that belongs to Kenya. That was money that my sister brought when she came back from Britain. After that, my sister now left and stayed in Nyalenda. Because after Jaramogi gave the cat, the pussycat puzzon, I took her to Nyalenda. I took my sister to Nyalenda. So she stayed with our auntie in Nyalenda. For so long, when she was in Nyalenda, I was the one looking after Diambo and Usewe and Udima, and making sure that I wash Mzee and make sure that I massage him. You had to massage Mzee every evening, every morning when he wakes up after you have bathed him, you must massage him. I was doing all that while my sister was staying in Nyalenda with my auntie. And she became drunkard. She would drink and sleep there. So that when these people are coming to look for her, they would always find her when she's drunk. But that was all the plans that they made with her husband, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. But me as a small girl, I did not know that these were all arrangements. But I could always see that when she comes, they would laugh and jump around. I was their toy. When my sister comes home, she would always call me in her bedroom and ask me, Anyango, mitkoro kitagoga mzee? Do you disturb mzee? So mzee would walk in and says, Anyango bear. and they would laugh. They would laugh and I walk away. Now, that is how it started. Now, my main reason why I have to give all these statements, because I would like to make Kenyans know the real truth about everything concerns Jaramogi. The whole truth. How he has made his money. He was a hard-working person. He loved my sister. He used to go even to Uganda to buy fish, to open a shop for my sister in Ng'ia here, shopping center. They loved each other. And that is how I ended up in between them. Because my sister also loved me. And because of the spiritual powers that she felt that I would also make them inherit, I was there. Now, I am just wondering, why is this issue concerns the leadership about Raila? When Raila came back from Germany, spiritually, he was so much attached to me. And his father would always tell him, Anyango no mer, that Anyango is your mother. Don't play around with her. Don't play around with Anyango, and that is your mother. So he would always tell Raila that. But Raila still, as rude as he used to be, he would always insist on being close to me. And I would run away. That is how he came to meet the sister of Aida. When he met the sister of Aida, he now became out of my life. He was now not chasing me. He was now chasing the sister of Aida. That is how Aida met Raila. Because when Raila wanted to marry her, he told Raila that I will give you my sister. So she introduced Aida with her son Fidel, introduced to Raila, and that is how they got married. So he loved Aida, and they got married with Fidel in the hand. That is the truth. So they started off like that. Then Raila started off with the problem of being to the prison. So Raila was all the time in prison. So Joe Ager came into the life of Aida. That Jaramogi Odinga told Joe Ager to look after Aida. That is your in-law, just look after her. So Joe Ager was the one who was looking after Aida while Raila was in prison. So I may tell you the truth, Madam Winnie. Don't give people headache about the leadership of Raila. Raila en nyakwar joka kan. En remb joka kan. He has to have that power of Joka Khan, because we blessed him with that power from Kakan that came from Jaramogi. While he was being cleansed, he was given that power. But now, you as a daughter of Joe Ager, if I'm lying, go and get a DNA. Joe Ager is right there. Even when Raila was died now, he was still looking after your mom. Joe Ager is your biological father. Madam Winnie, don't give the children of Jaramogi a headache. Whatever your mom is doing, she's making a very big mistake. Because if she would know the spiritual power around Jaramogi Oginga Odinga's family, she would just step off and leave them alone. And if she would know the spirit inside me, she would just step aside and leave me alone. When she destroyed my properties in Kisumu, I didn't follow up because she's my daughter-in-law. I loved her. When when Oloaringo was giving her a headache, I was the only person who was visiting her. Here I am again with the issue about the family affair of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. Yes, my sister Mary Juma left me in charge. That made my sister Gaudensia Adea left the home of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, because when she was told that Anyango is the one that I have left to look after my family here, then she asked herself and said, now what am I doing here myself? If Mary said that only Anyango is supposed to be looking after Mzee and is supposed to looking after her children. Then she went and collected a lorry in Bondo and came and collected her things and left for me the home. Not knowing that now I was already having my own permanent home that was built by a friend of Jaramogi. That is a Mzungu that inherited me after his friend from Tanzania, Mr. Henry Albert Fosbrook, left me because of a priest. So I told my sister that she doesn't have to leave because I cannot go back and stay there. So she insisted. She said, well, she doesn't want those humiliations. She's leaving and she's going. So she left us in the funeral of Mary Juma and went away until now. Her house is still there. That is my sister that got married there because of even me. Yeah, I used to go there with her when we were coming from Kibuye Girls, and Mary had insisted that I must be married by her husband, and she kept me in her house that I must be married there. Then my auntie said that Jaramogi must marry another woman between me and Mary Juma, because me and her, we are like twins, because our mothers are relatives, our fathers are relatives. So she said that because we are like twins, Mzee must marry another woman. That is how my sister got married there, because her mother told Jaramogi that even the girl that Anyango comes with here is my daughter. You can also marry her and let them both stay here because they love each other. They care about one another, so they can stay here together. So Mzee was trying to dispute, but Achieng' Oneko told Jaramogi that don't reject when you are given a woman, because you don't know what kind of a child he will bring up for you. So that is how he started staying with my sister. So when my sister Gaudensia Adea or Jaramogi went to prison, left us in Nairobi West, rented for us a big house in Nairobi West where we were staying together, the two of us with my sister, and even Agola and Jalanga Nyango came from Russia and came and stayed with us in that house. And I was the one in charge of cooking the food and doing this and that because my sister was going to work. And then my sister gave birth to her firstborn that I looked after. So if she left me the home and left in the funeral of my sister Mary Juma, now why would I now shut up? Because she was the one who would have now been speaking, but now she's not there. She got annoyed and left, said that I have left, she has left for me. And I'm the one who kept Betty there, because I said I cannot lock the gate of this old man that have already made me a home in Jabalo Gardens, who is also a friend of Mzee Jaramogi. I cannot leave the place and now go and look after my sister's home. That is one thing. That is why I go on talking about Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, because my sister Mary, spiritually we were connected, and on the leadership we were so much connected, because the spiritual power of the leadership of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga's home comes from my village, comes from us, comes from my grandparents. That is why Mary insisted of me getting married to her husband. And I stayed there, I got married there. That is true. That is the first man in my life that actually broke my virginity. That is Jaramogi Odinga. When my sister makes a bed for me and tells me, Anyango, don't go. Just to sit here. You don't have to be afraid of Mzee. Mzee will not harm you. He's a very good man. So I used to sit there. And Mzee was a very polite person. He was a nice person. He would just touch me politely, nicely, until I got used to him. So we decided now just to be together. I did not fear him. I did not have any problem. But my sister left us. I looked after Adhiambo, Ruth Adhiambo, and Osewe. They were very young. When I arrived in that home, Ruth Adhiambo was around 2 years. And Osewe was quite big. He was around 4 years. And Odima was a big man. So I stayed with them. I'm the one who was looking after them. Even Ruth Adhiambo did not know who is his real mother. He used to call his mother Mary Nyarodima. When Mary tried to tell her to not to make a mistake, she will always tell Mary Nyarodima, "Ichwad abro follow ni mama, abro fuli ni mama wa." That mama, that is Anyango. That by that time I'm already taken to school by Wodko Yeyo. It drives me to school in Kibuye and collects me back. That is how we stayed. That is how we started living with Jaramogi. So what brought me living there was because Jaramogi was taken to prison with the Chenguneko while he had already rented for us a house with my sister in Nairobi West, and they were taken to prison. So their long stay in prison, people were saying Jaramogi was going to die there, and my sister did not have anything to eat in Kisumu. She was struggling. And I said, I had money in the Catholic mission. So I went back to Kisumu and collected money from the Catholic mission. That is where I met this Mzungu with Father Emolike. He was a good friend of Father Emolike. This Henry Albert Fosbrook was a very big, important man in Tanzania. He's a writer. He wrote a book called Ngerengere Creators in Tanzania. And that is how I came to meet him. So he wanted to know about the African spirits. So he wanted to write about the African spirit. So he insisted he wanted to take full charge of my family and take full charge of my sister and look after me. So he went and rented for me a house in Westlands. So I got married with him like that. So when Jaramogi came back from prison, he found when we were having a baby boy, my firstborn. And he stayed in Bruna's hotel. But the first person he was looking for was Anyango. When he came from prison, he did not even look for my other sisters. He looked for Anyango. So when I was told that I was now taken away by a Mzungu, he told them to bring me together with that Mzungu there. So Mzee told the Mzungu, he cannot leave me. If you want me to die, then you take away Anyango from me. So Mzungu also told him, no, there's no problem, we can share her. Because even me, I cannot leave her. So we can only share her. So they accepted and agreed among themselves. So I was there being shared by the two. And we lived like that until Mzee died. We knew when we were supposed to meet. Although I never let Mzee know that that friend of his left me now because of a Catholic priest. Now I was having a second person that was now given by the NCCK MD from America when we were having wrangles now with the old man because of a Catholic priest. So these fathers took me to that lady and gave me a job in African Heritage where Joseph Mrumbi was running. He was managing there. So I worked there, and that is how I came to meet my second man that now built me this home. But I never told Mzee that I was now having a second person in spite of the person that they agreed they can share. So they continuously shared because this man was always in America. He was never here. So whenever he goes away, I had all the time in my life to meet with Jaramogi. And that is how we lived.
Ananeno Mr. Odungi Randa. Ino sip jaduong maduong kabisa. Kendo joluo heri kabisa. Koro makosa motimre kaeri en wach pesa. Emodwa ringo kodi matek. Koro wawe thuolo ni Mr. Nyandiko mondo o manage ginene luo elder. Nikech asewinjo wach kaka ugwere ga wach mar telo kanyo. Koro na feel ni the best thing gima nyalo konyo step down mondo iwene kom mondo koro tiya. Nikech bendi setiyo ji oneno tiji kaka chak. Koro weye thuolo ni Nyandiko mondo koro tiye obende ji one kaka otiyo. Aparo ni mano adokonyo kaka joluo. Kik wabed na joma laro telo to gimwa benefit ya telo no to bet maonge. Ibed chien to koro Nyandiko tiyo to koro ibedo chief advisor ne. Koro kuonde mineno ka dhire meti wacho nan ajathuru koni ero dhire mi koni. Mane kako ginga endo tiyo ga kod loko boko giri gokelo dongo ga chiengo neko. I used to see that they sit down and discuss. Negi beti ga piny kendgi kargi ji ang'wen to gi discuss gik moko magisetimo chien kocha chande koro gineno kaka gi analyze. Naneno ga. Koro bende beda piny kod Mr. Nyandiko mondo iwene kom. Wenewa ya kom ok thoe. Wenewa ya kisewene odhi mbele kod tich tibe kod ineno mna kaka tiende wuotho mondo koro lure kode. Mano nyalo bet maber moloyo mislead joluo continuously. Keche koro wabro na chal jok moko mofuo magwere telo to gimomiyo wagwere telo to kwanyal solve. Keche telo mar luo elder ni en telo monego abed ni isolve problem kaka koro kabila mane nyotimre koginga ni. Would have been better. Ano kine ka bet chien. Poka complain gi nyithindo gi akonyo gi gana kama danyal. Wahichagi eki kato bed Raila no ong'eyo. Man ngama yuak kabisa mabro yuak no William Somaya Ruto. No nego rang kabisa. En Ogeta. Nyathi Ogeta no osetiyo gi chunya chiel. Nyathi Ogeta no en manyo nyathi nyamero tho ilwete. Ko chandre go up and down. Nyathi Ogeta no en mada yuak no William Somaya Ruto orangie kamoro kete mondo bendo bed kod kama omanyalo mako motiye maber mobendo yude msache nyaka chieng' retire. Mr. Ogeta mano kende ng'at manyalo plead ni ng'ane wuod Sogoyi mondo ne kaka konye. To Raila kata Ogeta nong'eyo ndalo manene ginene lweny mar gin tiere kar kairi up and down wach telo lich kabisa no. Adhi aloso go President Moi. Bumoyo yie. Oluongo Raila State House. Ne wan Kisumo tich adek. Ka ogondo siro miya report ni wodi nyamer chande tichonde dhi kadho go. Tawacho no da kwaram na gima datim. To gondo siro fuara no ne na President Moi no wono. Ema diang res. Donge na idho ga chieli kor State House kanyero tago nduru tago uwi bunyaka moyo wacho ni wacha uwi mama ingie ni nani uwi to kiwacho na nanu ile mama yetu ya Siaya to wacho ni wacha ingie badonjo oyudo kaka ro nyaseme dwaga goya nikech athalo chiege ka chiege wacho na kodo wi joluo gimomi atimra kamano to ginok ne ging'ene en tho mar nyathi nyamera Raila oseket budget mare makori dwa make sure not tieke to Moi to kia plan mar jogi ka to ng'ano gondo sir to nowinjo bobiro kuotho na mane manokelo tho gondo sir. Koro ana wuon I know very clearly gik mang'eny ka step gamna down kana aseloso wach mar nyathi nyamerano wadonjo State House on Wednesday on Thursday to luong Raila State House ginene Nairobi. Bumo yodhi discuss kode weche gikogo emonyuolo molasses. Isene na kago koko na bende miya pesa mar molasses no nikech bende I was part and parcel mano luongo nying Raila ka ochande ba wacho neno patia pesa kule na wajaluo mfanye kazi pamoja.
emokelo thuon gweno muonyo tinga no muony go gweno mna nikech anyango. Dunawe fulo numoi the secret ni jogi tugo kode watakujaribu jina yako vile wameharibu jina ya nani ya Biwot. Vile waliharibu jina ya Biwot eti Biwot ndiye alimaliza huko na wao wamefanya wenyewe. Wachana na hiyo, patia Raila pesa. Atafanya kazi na wewe baba. Donge moino timo mnamana. Uluongo Raila State House Nairobi wamiyo Raila pesa. Wamiyo Raila molasses ni mandokoro mwandu mari joluo. Bra ilo receive ginero donge jinonye shares kata ini ok ni nyewe shares mag molasses mane moyo me wa molasses ni mano mar joluo neno us shares mag joluo mago gik mana ng'eyo te nikech I participated over it. The issue mar Ambala kod ngane kod Ongili, it was all Olaringo did all that. Molaringo odi organize kod Grace Ogot kakoro moi okawo kom mar ginene mar kanu omiyo Ngili koro kom kanuni ema Olaringo dwaroga ni romre kod vice president gima nokelo resignation mar Kibaki ero ka Kibaki no yoni kendo kara kom ni jidwarega owacho ni kara kora wenu kakoro jidwam nando mondo negre aweyo ema nonego Ngili. Koro Ambala was killed for cover up. That is the truth. The meeting was done here. Grace Ogot was here in Jabalu Gardens when they were having that meeting with Ondiek Bishop. Odongo Komam refused to come. He did not come. So the meeting was handled with the three only. Grace Ogot, Olaringo, and Ondiek Bishop. They are the ones who handled the meeting. And for me, I didn't know that it was going to be a murder of somebody. Those witch doctors, one of them I knew. So I asked him, so he told me that Olaringo wanted a big seat that has been awarded now, but it has been given to somebody and he wants it. So they said they are going to give it. And that is how they organized. Even Grace Ogot is the one who went and when those young boys wanted to sue them, they will reveal whoever had sent them if they are being prisoned. So Grace Ogot brought government lawyers to stand for those young men. It was an open thing. So Ambala never killed anybody. Ambala was a cover-up. The Indian who came and injected him in prison blew up with the aeroplane in Lake Victoria, did not reach back Nairobi. That is the truth. Ambala was injected in prison because he said that now why would Ringo plant this kind of things over him? Why would they put bloodshed of somebody over him? But those were all plans of Olaringo. The same Olaringo, he planted Nani Biwot. Biwot only gave, when they met at the State House, when he was now stuck up with the body of Ouko. So he requested Nani Biwot, help me with some money. Kwa jili hasa mimi sina kitu nitafanya. So Biwot gave Olaringo 100,000. That is what he hired the aeroplane with. That threw Ouko in Gotalila. So that was the only mistake he made. But he didn't know that he was borrowing Olaringo money to go and do those kind of malicious damage. He didn't know. He was giving it as a good friend or a colleague. So Biwot fought over this case. I was there in the city council when that man, the MP where Shakil took over, was cross questioning him. I was there, and I told those people that Biwot is clean. We are killing each other by ourselves. Olaringo is the one who needs the leadership by force. He wants the vice presidency by force. That is why he's killing people. So that the case was dismissed. So Biwot was clean because they didn't have anything tangible to hold him. So the issue about killing Ouko, it was Olaringo and that man from South Nyanza. So the bodyguard of Oyugi is the one who shot the leg of Ouko. That Ouko bled to death. Before they reached Naikuru, Ouko had already bled to death. I'm giving all these stories because I don't want to die with them in my stomach. Because many people have been accused of murdering other people. Our people are accusing, even right now, they are saying that it is so nani Kasongo ndiye ameua.
Akwayo Mr. Odinga Randa. Mr. Odinga Randa, you are the Luo elder. Now, the way Jaramogi Oginga Odinga loved you so much, umanoketuga as right hand mage. Koro sani gikoginga kethre to intie to itamu nyawadu maja South Nyanza chande o wach mar telo mar rito joluo to into kori rito joluo ni iketo ni rito joluo kar kae rito iweyo gik moko kethre. Most of all gik man koginga kodinga okonego bed ni in kaka ng'at man ogingo hero bet ni gik oginga kethre to ineno ti ilinga linga ni kwa oginga ranga kogingi loro ti lingi rango. An mano gimoro momako dhoga kabisa nkara an atedonuga chiemo kubiro koginga an mana atedonuga balosunu nyaka nyuka. Koro sani eri oginga mano heri chande mane make gashwa ni bendi chiemo maber cha. Koro gike kethre ti lingi ranga in i accept ni miya pesa ti dak go maber to okobadhi gima timre kosiepni. Maro buru tang'eyo Dr. Buru said nyathina kadhi ire ka ywakne nyithinda gola thagre Kisumo Nairobi odak Jerusalem Nairobi to thagre nyithindo go konego bed dak Jerusalem nyaka sani eri onego gibed ni gibet kod their own homes. Wodu ng'anene wodu agola nugi nyithindo gi nyikwayo. Koro sani eri en pod odak ga Jerusalem kanyero en ongo kod lope ongo kod dalane ongo kod ot to ongo go pesane to mwandu ti kworo taneno. Mwandi kworo taneno. Omondi odak dala kar kaeri. Ngano odhiambi chondero ber min mare no ka obodhi go London. To koro sani jomodong kagi gindo koro gidong kagi thagre kata ng'ama dewo gito onge nechi osewe. To inti intiere ng'at monego bed na advice Dr. Buru no timo kamano. Dr. Buru told me ni dhier mako waduoko sindi nindo. He told me with his own mouth. No mama and dhier mako wadu to ko sindi nindo. Koro ka dhier mako wadu ko sindi nindo emomiyo koro accept mondo gik moko mako wadgi okethra mano omayo nyaka chie wadgi lowo to omiyo jomoko none makoro puro to wanto wadong kakech kayo. Aida ne manowacho ni ng'ane no min bondo. No mama winjo gi mama dwacho ga kanyono. Kawacho na ayude dhood Mary kacha mana ayude. Owacho ni ng'ane min bondo ni mondo konya en dango kokonya. Min bondo mi oro mondo konya. Koro min bondo konya ko dangono ka koro lowo monego puro opidhi oganda timaye title deed so tamrok miye. Koro pidha ko dangono. Opidha ko dangono. Those are the things that you should look at first. If you want leadership, you should look at now how are the family is. Are they balanced? Nikech adhiambo to pesomero. Adhiambo pesomero ringo dhi from one side, Ruto adhiambo. Pesomero dhi from one side to the other. Eno riembo pesa. Pesa motiyo tij riembo pesa. To ko badhe nyithindo wadgi onindo nang'o to nyithindo wadgi ochiemo nang'o. Kata chio wadgi nonindo nang'o to chiemo nang'o. Kata an min mare. An mana lewa nene taulo mane ywe uma dhiambo. Gima nomiyo Oginga kenda gane nang'o. Uma dhiambo nakwonga nodho thwinyo mondo ang'udho piny. Eka niweyo kor bada. Bumsio ranga bwachon ng'ane Mary Nyarodima. Nyameri ni ohera nyithindo manade ni. Adhiambo no kema nomiyo Oginga ohera. Kaka na iwega uma dhiambo. Nko yudo ka luoko soe ba wiro go mopithre teng. Kwacho ne kaka loso nyithindo maber malich. Emomiyo nogingo kenda. To in koro sani eri no hera man Oginga heri godo. Ok inyal rango mondo ine ni nyithindo wadu odak nang'o. Iwe no buru mondo tim kaka dwaro. Daktari is already old. Kar mondo we nyithinde mondo tije modwaro ga gekogo ento pod okasre ga tijego. It's very wrong. Dick is a very big man. Jaoko is a very big man. They can do all those jobs mangane moburu dwaga tiyogo. Mondo buru ne kaka rango dala won mare ringo nang'o. Mondo owe onjika ko dongi randa ma peso mero. Ringo from one side to the other. Okudwar de tingo ktadogi mondo losu nkeche kangi loso to an kano migi pesa. Anta kwero mageko nkeche I'm putting out my last breath. I'm giving out my last breath. Now I'm saying and I'm warning Odinga Randa, nitafadhali, don't mistreat your friends, somebody who loved you so much.
his family. King very well know the gate is being closed. Ingeni loro rangach koginga, ingeni loro. Gik mitimo kanyo go iparo ni pod rangaji no pod bro ga dong ni nyithindo pod dong ga dala kanyo no pod bro ga bet no terre. I'm talking to you in Kijaluo because I don't know if you can you understand my English. I don't know if you'll understand my English. That's why I'm telling you these things in Luo, so that you understand me from you understand them from me. Nobody should translate them to you. No, whatever you are doing, Mr. Odongiranda, leave that man in South Nyanza to be the elder, Luo elder. Give it to him. Instead of fighting over with him, and yet you know very well you cannot do that job, please give it to him. Because I met him at the funeral of Raila. He's not a moneymaker like you. He's not a moneymaker like you. I saw him. I even saw the secretary and I talked with them. I gave them the problem and they listened. He's not a moneymaker like you. They didn't ask me for even bus fare. I explained myself and they didn't ask me for bus fare. So please, Mr. Odongiranda, you have made a lot of mistakes in Jaramogi Odinga's home, so don't continue making it in other people's homes. So just step down for that man in South Nyanza to take full charge of Luo elder. You have received so much money, which is enough for you to manage your life, even to do your own business. So it is okay. You have nothing to lose. So I'm just begging you. I'm just begging you. Okachai, baba mi luor kabisa. Kenani nigamna kakane mzee wacho naga na nyango make sure ni loso chiemo jo welo gi maber. Neni loso chiemo welo gi maber. To mna uni welo manoginga dwaga na loso chiemo maber. Koro sani tiwe koginga kethre tilingi rango. Nani neno pesa. Neno pesa koro koginga kethre tirangi neno. Dr. Buru manyo siemo ni gawach buru nuon mare wacho ni iko jikanyo no. Adwaga nka kuburo tho. Tadwa ni tinge in mitinge itere dhike kaw kawon mare bur kamano wacho ni nego bed no ginga iko nyithindo ginga te kanyo nyaka wagogni. An poka neno mgogo migolo ka chwara tidwa kidala gi poka neno. No owe nyithinde ka chwara to duogo dala gi ka dhako maneno konyuol. Ochal dhako maneno konyuol koro tinge duogo dala gi nikech oongo kod kamo chomo kata kamo chiko. Dhako kosenyuol kamoro en chidala no. Ambala no nyuomo 2 million. No wacho no kokelo dhiang nikech ok odwa nyuomo, ok onyuomo dhiang. Ok onyuom dhiang nikech nyako monyuomo en nyako mosomo mamin guon maro puonjo maber. En okelo mna pesa go boxi. Koro pesa no Mr. Odongiranda, will you refund that money or Mr. Buru will refund that money? The 2 million that Ambala paid the dowry for burial at Chieng. Because he has 2 children there. Will you now refund the 2 million that Ambala paid? Nobody can say that Ambala did not have that 2 million. Because Ambala was the one having fish and chips first in Kenya. Fish and chips, Ambala is the one who brought fish and chips in Kenya. And he was making good money next to Ambassador Hotel. And he was doing several other businesses. So when his wife died, he went ahead and looked for the vice president's daughter that was very well educated and had degrees. That is what he told Mr. Jaramogi. No, I'm not getting married to a woman who is primitive. I'm getting married to a woman. I'm paying you this money because I'm taking a girl who is educated with a degree and with diplomas. Not just a woman. That's why I brought you this. And Odinga asked him, he asked him, can you show me the ground where you want to walk around and look after the cow yourself? Because me have given you something that you can go at the bank at 9 o'clock, withdraw your money, go and pass to the shop and supermarket and buy your milk and come back here and drink as much as you want. That is what Ambala said. Achieng Oneko was there. Luko Bokraria was there. I was not alone when Ambala brought that money. This man called Woduko Yeo was there. He was the driver. He was downstairs, yes, but he knew that Ambala came there to pay dowry. And he's the one who normally used to go and keep the money. Whenever Mzee would have money, Woduko Yema nedega kano pesa. So I'm just requesting you, step down for that man in South Nyanza. Let him be the Luo elder, step down, Mr. Odongiranda. The mistake you have made, Kogenga, I'm 100% sure no other Luo would like that kind of mistake to be made in his home again. and yet you shut up. Me, I'm talking to you because this is my last breath. I'm a hungry woman in the village here. Now I'm just wondering that would it be the cause of this issue about demanding of how the shares of this property of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga of Suba, the sale, because I only heard that some people got 2 million, yet that was over 500 acres, over 500 acres that was bought by those governors and senators in Nandi Hills. Now, why was it that this money should only go to one person? That one person should be controlling the money that belongs to Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, and yet his own family is there. Omondi is a big adult man. Odhiambo is a big adult man. Those are the sons of Jaramogi that are still there. Women have a right. That is why I was given spiritual powers by my grandparents, because women have a right. My father Onea told people that they cannot spoil whatever they have already made because I was born a girl. Because women are going to get world is going to change. So we are going to get ID cards. So now we are having ID cards that my father Onea told the community that they should not change when they found that I was a girl. Because while I was in my mother's stomach, they did all those things. Now when I was born a girl. So they were afraid that now, how can a girl be a leader? So Onea stood up and told them, no, don't spoil it. Just let her be. Because the world is going to change. Now the world have changed that women are also having a right. Akinyi, Wenwa, and Akinyi Walkowa, and Anyangi, they are children of Jaramogi. They were being born when I was looking. I saw them, Omondi. I saw them when they were being born with Jaramogi. And how much Jaramogi. Omondi is the one that got hold of Oginga until he died. While he was being taken to Aga Khan, now his last breath, he was holding the hand of Omondi and Susan that were there. Now for them, they are ignored in everything. They are not in the limelight in everything. And yet they are the ones who looked after that old man. They are the ones who cared about that old man. It is not right. Even if my sister Gaudensia was not there, Susan was always there for him. Susan was always there for him. So I don't see the reason why they cannot be given their right. That plots in Upoda, plots in Nyamira cannot be shared. They are not idiots. These women are not idiots. If they are given portions of their lands, now the wife of Osewe is an MCA. Would a MCA take her property and sell, and yet she's having children? That Oburu is saying that those people will sell their properties. Why can't he give them, even his own children? He should give their title deeds to his own children. Did he tell God that he cannot die now? Did Raila know that he was going to die immediately? If you would have known, I'm 100% sure he died because he was fighting over to see that everybody has a right in that family, like Agola's children, and Osewe's wife. I'm 100% sure that Raila died with the bitterness in his stomach because he wanted these people to have their right, and yet the rightness has not been released. Now, why can't Oburu see that her brother just died like 1 minute without sharing anything? Why can't he share? Why can't he share the title deeds to everybody? So that if whoever wants to sell, that is his own problem. That is his own problem. Why can't he give out the title deeds to everybody? Now, I'm just wondering about this Luo elder man. I see the reason why Luos are fighting. There's one Luo elder in South Nyanza. There's one Luo elder in Kisumu. I understand that the Luo elder in Kisumu is a money maker. So other Luos recognize that he's a money maker. So they decided now to put somebody else who can now lead the Luos in correctly. Because whatever he's doing is not right. How can he accept when Oburu is lying that his father made a graveyard that for everybody to be buried there? That even women who are already married to that are having their own homes, that their husbands, Ambala made his own graveyard in his compound where he's burying all his children and his wives. Now, would he now remove Ambala's wife from his hand to come and bury in his home, it his father said? And now that Luo elder, instead of telling Raila Oburu that you are lying, your father cannot remove women from their marriageable state to come back to their home state, as if they were just useless women. Only useless women are being brought back home through the fence. Beryl had 2 homes, prominent homes. If she could not be buried in Ambala's home, she would have been taken back to Zimbabwe. He has a son there. What about these children of Beryl now? Let us speak about it. What have they inherited from their grandfather? Because Oburu is keeping everything now. He has even snatched a property, land that the wife of Osewe was planting beans and selling to the schools to feed people like me. She was selling beans there to feed people like me. Oburu just went ahead and gave that land for people to plant sunflower, and yet he did not even tell Mrs. Osewe that I'm taking this land to do this and that. He did not even consult her. Now we are now remaining here hungry. And yet we were getting some beans from there and at least getting some gorogoros to come and eat. Now we cannot do it because she has just taken the land and give it to somebody else because she doesn't have the title deeds. How would she claim? And she doesn't have even the title deeds. Even the home where she's staying, they have denied her of her title deeds. Is this a good man? And then the Luo elder is sitting there listening to Oburu lying that her father said that everybody should be buried there. Dr. Oburu, when you die now, will you now be taken back to Nyamira to be buried next to your father, where your brother is buried, because your father made a graveyard there? When your children die, will they be taken back to Nyamira? Huh? You see, you know what? This Luo elder, he's sitting there listening to your nonsense, and then he doesn't even tell you that, my son, that is nonsense. There's no Luo that is ever taken back from his biological home to his father's home when he is already osego dalane tigo igolongane dalane titero kaun mare. That is the first Luo in Kenya or even in Uganda that have been taken back, removed from his own home back to his father's home. No sego dalane tigo le dalane tiduko kemondo dio ike kababane. Raila is the first one. That is a history. That I'm writing a book that I'm going to put it there. That was a history. That a woman is being removed from her own home, from her own children, and leaving those children hanging. Those children are now going to hang around, not knowing where their mother is supposed to be, or the properties that their father left. How is Oburu handling this? The Luo elder, please tell me, how are you handling this? Because you are the one who is allowing Oburu to make all these mistakes because you eat money. Why can't that Luo elder in South Nyanza take over? Because you are not a Luo elder, you are a money maker. Mr. Nani Jaduong, we lost a pesa kod jowadu. We lost a pesa kod jowadu. Nini wondo jowadu, ini won koro wodi manyothocha. Nyoda kitingi idhike kamachelo mopogre kod kar dhoode. Nyocha wodi otho, odakni kae mondi tere kaburini mari mane loso. Mondo kori we mondo kiko yike kama nego beni yike in a right place. Kuma nyithinde gi chiegni tiere. Why do you cheat others and then you pretend to be a Luo elder? A job of a Luo elder is supposed to advise the people who are without knowledge, that stayed so much in Russia, that did not know anything concerns the Luos or concerns any tradition. Me, I know every tradition. The people who made Jomanolo Sosrikal Makenya, they were women. The first woman who hit the cow that was supposed to be slaughtered for crowning Jomo Kenyatta and Odinga to make Kenya a government by the British, it was a woman. There were 6 women. I was there. Those were the people, the elder people who were actually giving the right word